It's another wonderful Tuesday morning here in Liberia and specifically Monrovia. And more specifically, Lynch Street. Good morning. Welcome to the OK Morning Watch here. My name is Fatu Kamara. I'm with you up to the end of the week, right? Up to Friday, as my boss man Clarence Jackson is in the U.S. As you may be aware, today is the election as Liberia seeks a non-permanent seat at the UN Security Council. You know, for decades, Liberia has been a beacon of resilience. You know, a story of post-conflict recovery, a nation that's transitioned from receiving peacekeeping missions to contributing to them. And as a matter of fact, we are a founding member of the United Nations, one of only 4 nations present at its inception. And so our diplomatic history is rich. And today could mark a well-deserved return to the Security Council for a 2-year term from 2026 to 2027. So the time is 8 minutes past 7 o'clock. Today we will talk about Liberia's seat at the UN. What does Liberia securing a non-permanent seat on the UN Security Council mean to you as a Liberian citizen? And what hopes do you have for our nation's role on the global stage if we are elected today? That's the question we're going to be posing to you. Not too many talking, not too much talking. We're going to talk about what this role, this seat at the UN Security Council means to you as a Liberian citizen. And what are the hopes, or what hopes do you have for our nation's role on the global stage if we are elected today? That's the question we're going to be talking about, we're going to be discussing. So briefly, we're going to take a commercial break shortly. And right after the commercial break, we acknowledge some of those following the broadcast this morning, wherever you are. Maybe in Radio Land or watching us. And right after that, we talk about Liberia. And especially the election at the UN. And after that, our first guest is going to be from MCC. We're going to talk about some of the allegations of fraud and discrepancies coming from there. So our first guest will be from MCC. We will talk up to 8:30. And then we take a break, 9 o'clock. Our next guest will be from our guest will we'll talk about World Food Safety Day, the celebration. And that will be from 9 to 10 o'clock this morning. And at 10, I'll be walking out of the studio. So wherever you are and however you're joining us, that's the lining of what's going to be happening here from now up to 10 o'clock this morning. My name is Fatu Kamara. Stick of us, don't touch your dial. Sweet, sweet, until then, a reminder of a poem that I love so dearly is First They Came by Martin Niemöller. First they came for the communists, and I did not speak out because I was not a communist. Then they came for the socialists, and I did not speak out because I was not a socialist. Then they came for the trade unionists, and I did not speak out because I was not a trade unionist. Then they came for the Jews, and I did not speak out because I was not a Jew. And then they came for me, and there was no one else left to speak for me. That's the essence of speaking when there are issues, and to all of the issues surrounding us as Liberians. So it does not, only depend on one person, but for everybody. So at 12 minutes past 7 o'clock, we're taking this very short commercial break to be right back.
Liberia, it's time for a new a journey of power, performance, and reliability. CCAR Motors has rebranded. Welcome to the all-new CFA Mobility Liberia, your trusted provider of world-class vehicles, motorcycles, and trucks. With Toyota, experience, strength, innovation, and adventure like never before. Built for Liberia's toughest roads. You need power and performance? Mitsubishi delivers toughness, efficiency, and performance for every job. And for those who move fast and ride with style, Yamaha Motorcycle provides unbeatable speed, durability, and comfort. At CFA Mobility Liberia, we don't just sell vehicles, we provide expert servicing, genuine parts, and lifetime support to keep you moving. Visit us today and experience the new CFA Mobility Liberia. Same trusted quality, brand new experience.
Partnership, European Union. Liberia Partnership, European Union. Liberia Partnership, European Union. Liberia Partnership. partnership.
EU Liberia, she long lasting partnership. Yeah, yeah. Sustain the peace, unify economic growth. It's a give and take situation. We cooperate for your creation. Yeah, yeah. EU LIB connection. Partnership for transformation. EU LIB connection. Partnership for transformation. EU LIB connection. Partnership for transformation. EU LIB connection. Partnership for transformation.
Talking about unity and supporting one another. Talking about partnership and how we all can prosper. Good governance is what we stand for. Human rights is what we stand for. Reconciliation and infinity. Management of natural resources. Not forgetting human resources. Rule of law, commonwealth, and regional security for all of us. LIB EU partnership.
EU LIB connection. Partnership for transformation. EU LIB connection. Partnership for transformation. EU LIB connection. Partnership for transformation. EU LIB connection.
You pay attention. All of us that can use the road. If you're driving or using motorbike or even keke, if they're in a city or even on a highway, it's very important to know the rules of driving, the simple rules that can keep all of us safe. You must always wear your seatbelt. But rather, you and the person behind you must always wear your helmet. And rather, don't forget your reflective jacket. Speeding is general good because your life and that of the loved one may be inside too. Don't speed even if you're in a city or on a highway. Don't drink or take in any substance before driving. So if you drink alcohol, don't drive. Or if that you driving, don't drink. Don't overload a car. It can lead to serious accident. Look for the red light and stop sign. Don't be close behind the other car on the road. Always stay far behind the car in front of you. It will give you more time to know what to do. If the car in front of you just stop jelly down. Always show the signal sign so the other driver then can know what you want to do. No texting, no calling, no setting the radio while driving. Keep your eyes on the road and your hands on the wheel. All the thing here will look simple, but it can change in no time when you're not paying attention. Drive safe, be focused, and respect the rules of the road.
This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Transport with funding from the National Road Fund of Liberia. Thanks for watching.
Looking good is business, so why not switch up your wardrobe at Jolomel Clothing on Lynch and Kerry Streets intersection. Jolomel Fashion House, the first of its kind ever, specialized in the newest and modern designs of proper suits for gents and ladies, wedding dresses of different designs and style, evening dresses for any event. At Jolomel Clothing, your style is in your hands. Check our casual men's sportswear tailored to suit your fashion sense. Matching suits for that new and lovely couple. African suits for any traditional wedding. We have fashion photo kits as well. Dress slipper for men for any proposed suit. Jolomel Clothing, the fashion house that is full of style and a sense of glamour. Jolomel Clothing. Call 0777-644-644 or 086-556-865 for any information. Jolomel Clothing, we make you a celebrity.
Attention, attention, attention to all lovers of the good things in life. A house is not a home, and a home is the one place where you should feel relaxed and accomplished. Your home should reflect who you are. So, it's time to make that upgrade with minimal damage to your pockets. And I have the perfect solution for you. Home Sweet Home, located on Benson Street, between Center and Buchanan Streets, got you covered. From the kitchen, we have air fryers, juice makers, pressure cookers, freezers of all sizes, and all the modern kitchenwares you can think about. From the bedroom, we have top-of-the-line, exquisite beddings to give you that great night's sleep because you have earned it. And soft, comfortable towels for your bathroom. And in the living room, we have high-definition TV sets of all sizes, unique aerial rugs, classy curtains in all the colors you desire, wall paintings of different sizes and colors, furniture, and everything you can think about for the home. All that at unbelievable prices. We even have low voltage, high quality washing machines and dryers to keep your clothes fresh and new at all times. As a bonus, we have fashion accessories for both the young and the old, designer quality bags, hats, and rare jewelries. So if you love yourself, your family, and your home, it's time to treat it right. Visit Home Sweet Home on Benson Street between Center and Buchanan Streets for that needed upgrade. You can call them on 0886 834 944 or 0770 581 420. Home Sweet Home, for the love of a classy home.
Or you get children in, or you lot take care of people children in. Wait, you can worry about your student in or your child coming out good. You not see things happening to them that staying long to talk, or for them to sleep hard, or they too active or high, or that only certain food in the leg, or they can play with other children in. If you see the thing happening, maybe your child gets something they call autism. Can't join the people call Blooming Kaleidoscope for one-day workshop where you will learn plenty of good things about this sickness they call autism. They did on Saturday, April 5th, 2025 from 10 in the morning to 2 in the afternoon. And the place they will be doing it like Empowerment Square, Liberia, West Side Pinsville Town Hall. When you come to the workshop, you will know everything about autism, you will know how to help your child, and you will also meet other parents and other people that can take care of other people's children. If you want to know other things about the autism workshop, you can call 0888 760
Hey, my girl, Teta, I slam my card also.
The play I have first. I go carry my uncle card also gonna garage. The go put where or inside it. The whole car engine spawn.
I the same thing happening to me. I go buy one recycle or I put it in my keke. Since then my keke just smoking Jera Mandingo Koba.
So my people, you're not here about Sunoco American oil. They have oil for everything. Whether that pen, Tesla, Tom Truck, Caterpillar, motorbike, Jeep, keke. Their products include Sunoco Auto Transmission Fluid. They have Global and they also have CVT. Sunoco Engine Oil Ultra Synthetic Blend 5W30 and 20. Sunoco 15W40 and C50 monograde for both gasoline and diesel. Sunoco 0W20 full synthetic engine oil. And our engine oil can even clean your engine set. Their oil can take you for 3 months, 4 months, and 12 months. They have long-lasting auto-light spark plugs. That one can take you up to 3 years, no wahala. They have now opened a sophisticated garage with well-trained mechanics for diagnostic testing and for electronic fault correction. They do all types of vehicle servicing. You want to change your oil, spray your car, weather your car, you want to fix the air condition.
So where is this place located?
River Street, AB Turbo Road. For order, contact Marketers Inc. 0880-535-508 or 0777-677-633. Make your engine happy. Use Sunoco oil. Got to make the change.
And welcome to the Monday's edition of the Fact Check segment. The segment debunks disinformation and it provides the verified facts of statements made online and on the radio. My name is Siawe Meapu and today we'll be fact-checking claims made in the last couple of days. On May 25, the government of Liberia through the Ministry of Information issued a statement condemning what it says were inflammatory and irresponsible comments made by Bombay County Senator Edwin Snow. Among other things, the statement claimed that Senator Snow said he would do everything possible, including using his connections in ECOWAS to make the Boakai-led government to fail, even if it means discouraging foreign direct investment to Liberia and making the country ungovernable and unstable until he, Snow, becomes president of Liberia. Also, short video clips of Senator Snow saying that he wants people in the country to die, he wants the country to suffer, he wants hardship, on the People has gone viral on social media. We reviewed multiple editions of the Spoon Talk and found that the first interview of Senator Snow making comments on wanting the government fail was conducted on April 9, 2025. During this interview, Senator Snow was asked if he wants the Boakai-led administration to do well. He replied by saying, quote, "I pray he doesn't, so we can move them from power." He further by saying, "I actually want him to be one-term president, so if he, Boakai, doesn't do better, then it's good," unquote. On May 13, Senator Snow appeared again on the Spoon Talk after the election of Richard Nangbekun as Speaker, where he was asked about his April 9 comments on the Boakai-led government failure. He replied by stating that his comments were made in contest and lamented that, quote, "For people to make it look like I want all the human beings to die in the country, I want the country to suffer. I want hardship in the country. No, I did not say that," unquote. This part of his interview was caught, manipulated, and shared on social media to mean that he wants people in the country to die. He wants the country to suffer. He wants hardship on the people. Based on our review of the Spoon FM interviews of Senator Snow on April 9 and May 13, we conclude that the comments attributed to him in Government of Liberia statement were not comments he made on Spoon FM. Also, the viral video of Senator Snow with statements that he wants Liberians to suffer and die is a manipulated video. The video was doctored to present something different from what Senator Snow actually said in the Spoon FM interview. On May 27, ex-Liberian activist Martin K. Colley claimed that ArcelorMittal exported 6.4 million metric tons of Liberia's iron ore and generated US $477.2 million, citing the 15th latest report. Colley made his claim while sharing a video alleging poor living conditions for Liberians working with the company. He criticized ArcelorMittal for allegedly failing to contribute meaningfully to Liberia's development despite the revenue it generates from the country's resources. To verify whether ArcelorMittal exported 6.4 million metric tons of iron ore and generated US $477.2 million, we reviewed the 15th latest report. The same source cited by Martin. Latest is the Liberia Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative and is part of a global standard to promote the open and accountable management of extractive resources. Leti works through a secretariat guided by a multi-stakeholder arrangement comprising the government, civil society organizations, and private companies to improve the governance of the extractive sector in Liberia. A review of Section 4.14 of the report shows that ArcelorMittal exported 6.4 million metric tons of iron ore between July 2021 and December 2022. Additionally, page 132 of the same report indicates that the company generated US $477.2 million during this period. Based on these findings, we conclude that Martin K. and Colley's claim that ArcelorMittal exported 6.4 million metric tons of iron ore and generated US $477.2 million is correct. On May 26, Grand Jida County Superintendent Ellis Grant claimed on ELBC that in the 2005 elections, Grand Jida gave 6.7% of its total votes to former President George Weah. Superintendent Grant made the statement to highlight what he described as Grand Jida's consistent support for former President George Weah. To verify this claim, we conducted an online search and found the official 2005 presidential election results published by the National Elections Commission. According to the NEC, former President George Weah received a total of 275 175,265 votes nationwide in the 2005 presidential elections. Of this number, 11,534 votes came from Grand Jida County. This means that Grand Jida contributed approximately 4.19% of the total votes we received, not 6.7%. Based on these findings, we conclude that the claim made by Superintendent Grant that in the 2005 elections, Grand Jida gave 6.7% of his total votes to former President George Weah is incorrect. While it is true that Grand Jida supported former President Weah, the county contributed about 4.19% of his total vote count in 2005, not 6.7%. The figure of 11,534 votes from Grand Jida based on NEC records does not support the percentage stated by the superintendent. This is all we have time for on the Monday's edition of the Fact Check segment. The segment is part of an MOU between Local Voices Liberia, OKFM, Prime FM, and Care Radio to counter disinformation to help the public make informed decisions. This MOU is funded by the Liberia Media Empowerment Project implemented by Internews with funding from the European Union. The funder or partner had no say in the editorial decision leading to the production of this fact check segment. If you want us to fact check a claim for you, please send us a text to WhatsApp on 0777 556296 and we will check it for you. Also follow us on Facebook at Local Voices Liberia, on X at LVL Fact Check, and go to our website at www.localvoicesliberia.com. I am Siawe Miapo, listener, and welcome to the Monday's edition of the Fact Check segment. The segment debunks disinformation and
Welcome to the OK Morning Rush this morning. After that break, the commercial break and the fact check segment here on OK FM, and you're listening to the OK Morning Rush this morning. So we acknowledge some of those following the broadcast. Lloyd Jala says he's following the broadcast this morning. He says, good morning, OK FM radio. I'm watching from Police Academy. Prince Yakbawolo Zulon says, good morning, Fatu. I'm following from St. Paul Bridge community. Tano Fokpa says he's following. He says he's watching from 12th Street, Sinkwa. Adama Konate says, good morning, OK FM. I'm following you from my Topo community residence. He says, good morning to you. Joseph Sako says he's following. Good morning, Joseph, and thanks for following us this morning. Francis L. Logan says he's following. He says, good morning, Fatu. I'm closely following from my residence in Broadville behind Assemblies of God University, formerly called Bible College. Ish Gabriel Snare, not Snare, but CO says, good morning. I'm watching from Greenville, Sino County. Many thanks for the great job you guys are always doing for our country. Ruben Kane is always following. Joshua Toto is also always following, right? He says, good morning, Fatu. I'm following from my office at the Liberia Land Authority. C. Morris Kane is following. Good morning to you. We continue. Caroline Jansi is watching. The Moscow Moses Nonga says, good morning, Fatu. I'm watching. Oscar Ziagben says, good morning, OK FM. I'm watching from Gompa City, Nimba County. Governor Gales Bankwando says he's following while on his way to work, as always. Luis Yasia says he's watching from Pennsylvania, USA. Adame Taylor says she's watching. She says, good morning, Fatu. I'm following. Vamuye K. Bayo is following from District 17, Montserrat County. Joshua Toto says, good morning, Fatu. I'm following. Uncle Prince son Prince says he's watching from Paris, France. Sonialu F. Kamara says he's watching from Derby, Pennsylvania, USA. Jeremiah Fokwa Joseph Guze Dede says he's watching from Gunta. So we cannot take all of those, we cannot acknowledge all of those watching, but Prince W. Vojolo says he's watching. P.E. Sotale is watching. Kazi W. Kaipe is watching from UL Main Campus. Jenkins, No Apologist Jackson is watching. Mohammed Gordon is watching. Julie P. is watching. He says he's following from New Georgia State. Stephen Tudator says says he's watching from Dixville, Benson Street. Jeremiah Fokwa. Okay, we've taken all of those. So thanks to all of those following the broadcast this morning. And if you listened earlier, I talked about Liberia's election at the UN for a non-permanent seat, and we are aware that my manager Clarence Jackson is already there. But I just want us to talk briefly, not too much talking. Like I said, we will open the phone lines to talk about what does Liberia seat at the UN Security Council mean to you, personally as a Liberian citizen, and what issues do you hope that Liberia can prioritize and champion if we get the seat? And also, do you think this would genuinely benefit the average Liberian? And finally, what responsibilities do you believe our nation will have if we are elected? Firstly, what does the seat, a non-permanent seat at the UN Security Council, means to you as a Liberian citizen? So we'll open the phone lines briefly so that you can talk about. We have like 30 minutes. We give you the opportunity to talk maybe which Liberia sources in the election, and then at 8 o'clock, we bring in our guest. 0777 700 995, 0555 995 995, 0778 594 595. Liberia's seat, a seat at the UN Security Council. And we have our very first caller on the line. Good morning, caller. Tell us your name and where you're joining us from. Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Fatu, Kamara. Let me say good morning to the listener.
Yeah.
The news is about political slaughter in I do join you this morning from Congress City in Congotan.
Okay.
At the Congress City. And let me appreciate you, Fatu. And we pray today as a people, despite our political differences, that our country be represented at that level. Because what it does is, we are on the international scene. It connects all the development we are all striving for. I think my president, we want Liberia to be represented at the ethnical level. So in himself, came to power, that face in the country image will be ahead. It will not be who today, who not do the matter of fact, Liberia is represented. So we hope and pray. I think that the government must put everything that we need to be done for all to get a seat. I want to pray that the president and his team, the foreign minister and our ambassadors up there who are, and those guys who are trying to be at best, our country to be represented. So let us all Liberians come together and pray that we be represented at our level. Thank you very much.
So what issues you hope that Liberia can prioritize, and champion, if we win the seat?
I think Liberia, we should prioritize one, democracy. We should good governance. Our rule of law should always be heard to, be protected. Because to stay down there, you must have a good domestic policy in terms of security, in terms of freedom of expression, not police intimidation and police brutality. So I think the government will work on this. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good morning.
Fatu. Good morning.
Good morning. Your name?
Thank you. This is Samuel D. from Brazil, this is 17. Let me say good morning to His Excellency President Boaka and Clarence Jackson. So, let me appreciate you for giving all the opportunity to be here on the radio at this time. See, I think some of us we are happy because we had a dream. Liberia is about to sit among important nations to discuss and know the world issue or the world affairs. Look, always, Fatu, sorry to say, Liberia will be voted overwhelmingly in this country. We are about to reset history and we are about to be at a level where we have been before. No, according to every Liberian, despite our political affiliation, our travel background, and our religious beliefs, it is time to get together as one nation, one people, one man, one understanding, and pray for victory for this country. The question about what you want for Liberia to prioritize. I want for Liberia to prioritize good governance and the rule of law, and also to also support and respect their neighbors or other nation rights and other stuff. So they see to this and Fatu, like I said, will be voted overwhelmingly, and it is time for all of us to use our respective position and support our country, because this is the only country all of us have. We cannot be deported from here. That's why you go up there, you make a million. Liberia is a place where you have history. Liberia is a place where you have belong, and it is time for all of us to stand for good, not to stand for bad. Thank you so much for the show.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, madam.
Good morning. Your name, where are you calling from?
This is Daniel P. and I call from 540 Congo Town.
Okay, let's hear you. What does this seat mean to you personally as a Liberian citizen?
For us to be on the UN, I think it will be very nice for me. And these are kinds of things that some of us love.
Okay.
Especially for you, Liberia to be from on the United Nations. So it's a good thing for us, for our country. Then our country be recognized among other nations.
Okay.
For long we are not being performing in the midst of other nations because of the Civil War. But I believe that when we get back to the United Nations, we will be going somewhere from here. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
This morning.
Thank you. Good morning, caller.
Yeah, good morning, Fatu. Fatu, this is the voice of Sabu Rasta. I'm phoning in from Point 4 to be a talk with you in Zimbabwe.
Go ahead.
Fatu, I hear people talking about they want Liberia to prioritize good governance when it comes to on the issue of the council. Fatu, ask if Liberia will even win the seat. As for me, I'm not saying Liberia should not win or Liberia can win, but Fatu, there are factors leading to win the UN Security Council seat.
Okay.
Fatu, the Bible says, faith without work that bears faith. So people should not be hoping that Liberia is going to win the seat while Liberia is not working. Fatu, for you to be able to win the seat, you will be able to prioritize the issue of rule of law. Fatu, our constitution was clear. Our 1986 constitution was clear. Article 58 of the Liberian Constitution, it mandates the president on every year on a Monday, each year Monday, on a full working Monday in January, for the president to go before the House of Legislature in a joint session and present the annual message to the people, how the government is performing, and who shall be that presiding the law, say the speaker, the legitimate speaker of the House of Representatives. They contact party, you are in the country. Who was the presiding? John Task Speaker of Rejeko. You see, how our country is running today. Waka does not respect the issue of rule of law. Waka have suspended our Liberia constitution.
So it's President Boaka, please, if you can say President Boaka, I will cut you off.
Okay, Fatu, sorry for the sake of this.
But we should not even be doing this. You know that he is the president, and he's saying for the sake of the discussion, this isn't fair. Good morning, caller. Good morning.
Yes, so my name is Blamo Nimne.
Yeah.
Calling from the Bushra Island.
Yeah.
Yeah, first is to commend our country for the step. And to give you a little bit of historicity, you know, Liberia as a country played a major role in the drafting of the SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals.
Yeah.
And goal number 16 talks about peace and security. I tell you, President Ellen Johnson is the first female president of Liberia. You remember she co-chaired on the UN, the committee to draft the Sustainable Development Goals. And she advocated that goal number 16 should be a part. When the rest of our colleagues said that, the issue of peace and security should be left with the Security Council, she said, no, the people themselves need to be involved in peace process. And that's to convince her colleagues. And goal number 16, if you go online now, SDG goal number 16, if you go and the target, it talks about peace and security, illicit financial flow, all these things. And so when the UN was adopting the SDGs, we used President Sally's voice or image and everything recorded from the executive mansion, and that's why the world used to advocate for goal number 16 that talks about peace and security. So today, that Liberia as a country, whose president advocated for that goal number 16 of the UN development goals, that Liberia as a country is now seeking a fix at that level. That is a plus for us. That's something that we need to celebrate. But then when we are celebrating that, we need also to to where it started from and today that we are there as a country. Okay. That's something I think we as the journalists and people, the press, need also highlight. Just go online, tap in SDG films. Okay. You'll see President Terry, the video is there. Thank you so much and congratulations to Liberia.
You're welcome. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, Deidre. Can you just stay away from the monitor?
Okay now?
Okay.
Okay, yeah, good morning, Fatu.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fencing, calling from real life.
Yes, yeah, you.
Yeah, I want to understand how we the Liberians take, like one person owns the country, like when the former president not do it, not better, on a people kind of do it, it ain't better. I don't know. We also be praying for Liberia to get the win, the be part of the council. So then all of people praying that if rule of law, every country who taking part in that process, they have their own rule, they get their own situation in the country that they can go back. But I don't think we'll be praying for us to be serious, not to win. I don't think so. I don't think in the help for us. So we need to pray. We need to pray to get to win, to be part of that seat, to win the seat.
Okay.
So I think that we pray to God out today, and we will win like will win, and we pray to God that we'll be successful today.
Okay, thank you. Let's take this from here. Good morning.
Yeah, Fatu.
30
seconds. Yeah.
Yeah, Fatu, sorry. I take it back. Sorry.
Okay.
Please allow me to learn my thought.
Okay.
Tabu Rasta once again on the land.
No worries.
Yeah, Fatu, as I was saying, the Bible says you be able to take the spark for your own eyes before you take the spark for another person's eye. Labrador as a country, they're not able to take the spark for their own eye. Then how would they take spark for another people? Because on that UN Council, the Security Council group, they are advocating who are going to be playing for other countries. So they look at your country. When the president is right, our president is right, individual lesser. When one president, who told us that you would not have private jet to do, you can do private jet to go low far. How yes, well, I do want to win this. Former president, we have said the state, where in the case that because our law call for protest, where protesters go to street in shop, in the past, police will get them food, police will get them water. But not only the administration, why our law call for protest, people go to the street, and then the president will send it to brutalize our people, they say that we will win the seat.
So it's okay now. You've made your point. At least I allow you to talk.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So the next time you call, you have the opportunity to make your own points. Just be, respectful. to those who deserve respect. As a matter of fact, we all deserve respect. So you should give it to those who, are due. Right? Let's take this caller here. We have our first guest already. Hello?
Good morning.
Good morning. Let's hear you.
Yes, Fatu, this is Thomas Tamabono, and I call you on my way to Central Moravia this morning.
Okay, Thomas, let's hear you.
So firstly, let me pledge my support, my overall support to the Republic of Liberia for the North Permanent seat at the United Nations.
Okay.
As a country and people, I think this time that we stand in unity and not to be divided for this prestigious opportunity that our nation is going for. No matter our political differences, our ethnic differences, or religious differences. But when Liberia is over there, it means both for Liberia, that is a seat of opportunity that Liberia is going to be taking to discuss global security issue, making impact and raising the railway and bring across the globe. So I also want to thank President. We are all former government officials and present government officials that are chosen towards this wonderful fight. Thank you, Fatu. And
thank you.
Victory today.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So that's it. We will take a few more calls. Our first guests are already on the compound of OKFM. One thing I can say to people is that we will always be Liberians. If you leave from here, you go South Africa, somebody asks you, who are you? You will not say you're not Liberian. You'll always be Liberian. Why not be patriotic? We, like one caller said, all the other countries that you think, around you, or any other country you think vying for a non-permanent seat as well, that country has its own problem or problems. All of the countries, they have their own problems, they have their own issues, but it does not mean you should he did not say he's wishing that the country, does not get the seat. I listened to him very well. I don't want to misquote anybody. But he said because of the problems, Liberia, he does not think Liberia is going to get it. I think we should be a bit optimistic, even with the problems. And these problems, I think the government is working to address some of them. It cannot be solved just within a day, But with time, these things will be addressed. I hope so. And I think that the UN Security Council seat is something that we should all... Let's talk to this caller. Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning, Fatu. Good morning.
Yeah.
And let me say good morning to Lebanon people.
Yeah.
Mama Kumar is my name, and I called her from a car with Joshua this morning.
Yes, yeah, you.
Well, Fatu, sometimes those guys from opposite Lone Star, they are frustrated set of people.
So please, just go to the point. We're talking about the seat, like...
I'm coming here.
No, but you're not coming. I see you coming. You're far. You're far from it. You're far. You're not coming. Go straight to the issue. We're not talking about the guys from opposite Lone Star.
Yeah, somebody said from Point 4, they were in government for the last 6 years. Right, Fatu? The people mismanaged the country. We voted them out. When they're talking, you can see the anger in them, the frustration in them. We're talking about winning the permanent seat. You getting me, Fatu?
Yeah.
We're talking about winning the permanent seat today. And somebody from opposite Lone Star frustrated. You can see the anger for the garden. Yeah? And we have voted Joseph Baka. We're not going anywhere. I rally motorbike. But we're not going nowhere. I listen to you through phone. I rather call with Joshua here.
So let's go to the point. What does a seat... What does a seat at the UN Security Council mean for you? A non-permanent seat at the UN Security Council mean for you as a Liberian citizen?
We are hopeful that we'll win that seat today. We are hopeful. So those frustrated guys, they are postmen. So for the Liberian people, they still living in zero.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Let's take this one from here. Good morning.
Good morning, Fatu, and good morning to your colleagues of the studio.
Okay.
Thank you. My name is Joseph Small, calling from the Ministerial Complex. Come on down.
Yes, yeah.
Let me say thank you for the show this morning. Like I have all of media all right. On behalf of my family and in my own name, we support our country. We start with Liberia, Liberia first, before any other persons.
Yeah.
We are hopeful and we are joyful. We are gratified. We are convinced and convicted that by the grace of God, Liberia will once again sit at our spot. We were there before, don't forget. 1961 to 1962, we were there. And when I did my research, when you check, Liberia still had over 50 spots in terms of contributing to the UN in terms of peacekeeping missions. We have done that. We are the one. We have 193 countries. Liberia sit at 50 spots in terms of contributing to UN peacekeeping mission. So this country, we have set the record. We have done well. No, this country, we have made names.
Okay.
So based on some of the records, by the grace of God, Liberia today, we started it, and we are in it till we can get to the end, not at the end, but the very, very end today with victory. We are just fulfilling our song. Liberia, you are lifted. Nation shall come to rise. I can see that song being sung by 5 this evening because the voting will start by 10 a.m. We should be around here 2. By 4, the result will be out. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. We're squeezing one more call and then we usher in our first guest. Okay, let's take it from here. Good morning. Will you call? Just stay away from the monitor, please.
Fatu, sorry, I apologize. My name is Focus Wilson, Fatu from the Southeast, of which I'm so proud of. Thank you for your talking point. And I think we are growing, Fatu, as we conscientiously follow you.
Yeah.
To have a but just someone who tried to wish Liberia not to succeed as a result of harmless domestic errors. And I want to say that clearly. There are countries who were at war. History are proving why we were fighting. They were at crisis. They won that seat. We may not name other than. But what I'm simply saying is that it is important for us to say, look, that's part of our internal political rivalry differences. We need to put Liberia first.
Okay.
Abraham Darrell said, Liberia is the only country that cannot be deported, no matter what. Liberia is the only country that we have. That's why somehow we're not prioritize people who are brought here and there. So I want to say thank you. We stand ready, go to our radio international media,
okay,
civil address surface, and it will be a surprise. Even the former president, President Barkai, former President they are all glued to the international media. They have been campaigning. How can we be supporting them when we not understand Liberia is above all of us? But whatever the case, that's how easy for want to say thank you to President Barkai and the government of Liberia. We are with them, we stand with them, and we hope victory will be our portion today. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So we take this very short break. When we come back, we usher in our first guest here on the OK Morning Rush. Let's take this very, very short break to be back.
Rushing. Why are you rushing also?
You, Judy, don't give me hard time, man. I'm going to the bank to get my cash because the bank was too close.
You can use the ATM?
My ATM card expired ever since.
Man, you don't need ATM card. Just use the mobile app and generate an e-token. All you have to do is to just log on the app. You click on Express Cash. Then you select ATM. From there now you select Generate e-token. Then you select the account you want the money to come from. From there you select the currency that you want. If they're Liberian dollars or US dollars. Then you put in the amount that you want, whether $10 or $20, you put it in and you generate your e-token. It's simple, like 8 numbers that will come to you. When you get that number, just go to any ATM there. All you have to do is to just select the C Express Cash on the ATM now. The place where you're supposed to put your ATM pin, that way you pull that 8 number. Then it will ask you for the amount. That money where you generated, that money will come on the ATM will pay you.
So so simple. Echo Banners for me again, oh. I will always make use of the express service big time. Echo Bank, the Pan-African Bank.
My girl, Teta, how you slam my card also?
The player have vest. I go carry my uncle car to song on a garage. The go put where or inside it. The whole car engine spot.
I the same thing happening to me. I go buy one recycle or I put it in my keke. Since then my keke just smoking jara mandingo koba.
So my people, you're not here about Sunoco American oil. They have oil for everything. Whether that pen, Tesla, dump truck, caterpillar, motorbike, jeep, keke. Their products include Sunoco auto transmission fluid. They have global and they also have CVT. Sunoco engine oil ultra synthetic blend 5W30 and 20. Sunoco 15W40 and C50 monograde for both gasoline and diesel. Sunoco 0W20 full synthetic engine oil. And our engine oil can even clean your engine set. Their oil can take you for 3 months, 4 months, and 12 months. They have long-lasting auto-light spark plugs. That one can take you up to 3 years, no wahala. They have now opened a sophisticated garage with well-trained mechanics for diagnostic testing and for electronic fault correction. They do all types of vehicle servicing. You want to change your oil, spray your car, weather your car, you want to fix the air condition.
So where is this place located?
River Street, AB Tubber Road. For order, contact Marketers Inc. 0880-535-508 or 0777-677-633. Make your engine happy. Use Sunoco oil. Got to make the change.
Attention, attention, attention to all lovers of the good things in life. A house is not a home, and a home is the one place where you should feel relaxed and accomplished. Your home should reflect who you are. So, it's time to make that upgrade with minimal damage to your pockets. And I have the perfect solution for you. Home Sweet Home, located on Benson Street, between Center and Buchanan Streets, got you covered. From the kitchen, we have air fryers, juice makers, pressure cookers, freezers of all sizes, and all the modern kitchenwares you can think about. From the bedroom, we have top-of-the-line, exquisite beddings to give you that great night's sleep because you have earned it. And soft
we have our very first guest in studio, and okay, so our guest, like I said earlier, is from the Monrovia City Corporation. He is the Director of Press and Public Affairs, Vani Deeks. Vani, good morning. Welcome to the OK Morning Rush this morning.
A very good morning, Fatu, and thank you for having us this morning on your platform. Thank you.
Okay, how's MCC?
Excellently well. We are doing good, thriving to be a vibrant institution.
Mm-hmm.
We are on course with executing our mandate.
Okay, few things. I read the message you sent to me yesterday, and about the investigation, by the Monrovia City Corporation. But basically, let's talk about the overall investigation. Let's say the scope and the status of the investigation. What is the total number of distinct fraud you talk about, or the cases you are investigating currently?
Okay, so we want to first lay the groundwork.
Okay.
That is to first establish on this platform that Mayor John Charuk Sefa is not a subject to any ongoing investigation by any anti-graft institution in Liberia.
Okay.
Contrary to what is being reported on some media platforms and the social media. The second one we want to also establish is that, yes, we want to confirm that there are ongoing investigations at the City Hall that borders on a number of issues, ranging from alleged fraudulent financial activities as well as the misconduct of some officers of the Monrovia City Police.
Okay.
We also want to confirm and be very emphatic about this, that all these investigations were commissioned, they were sanctioned, they were authorized, they were initiated by the mayor of the Monrovia City Corporation. These investigations were not ignited by an outside entity.
Okay.
Following repeated complaints from employees and other allegations that were emerging, the mayor constituted a special investigative committee to probe these allegations that were popping up.
Okay.
Back in 2024, when he assumed the leadership of mayor of the Monrovia City Corporation, Mayor Siafa stressed fiscal discipline and structural reform as some of the issues that were going to be the hallmark of his leadership. And today, we are seeing a demonstration, a testament, in practical terms, of those commitments that were made. Okay. So these are the initial opening comments we would like to make surrounding what's trending in the media.
Okay.
That the mayor is not undergoing any investigation by any anti-graft institution. We also want to confirm that a couple of days ago, we received a communication from the Financial Intelligence Agency, also wanted to make further inquiries about the already existing investigations that were launched into these alleged financial malpractices that have been uncovered at the MCC.
Okay. So, have you reached the conclusion of any of the investigation?
Like I said, we have active cases being investigated.
Okay.
It is the initial findings that prompted initial actions to be taken.
Okay.
You had people being suspended due to the fact that you are still playing with sensitive documents. You can't be playing with sensitive documents while investigations are ongoing.
Okay.
Initially, we thought to refrain from coming to the public to speak about these things because of the active nature of these cases. But because the rumors, the allegations, unfounded claims are being made in the media, they are swelling. We thought it would be important to come on the radio and dispute some of these far-fetched information that people are cooking in the media.
So before we go any further, what's the total, estimated loss to the MCC, across all these fraudulent activities?
Again, like I said, the ongoing investigations will establish the total losses that we have incurred as a corporation. Okay. But let me take you a step backward to tell you about the cases that we are investigating. So you have a case involving fraudulent bank deposit slips.
Okay.
You had a situation where someone who is also undergoing investigation presented a fake bank deposit slip to the revenue director. 4 institutions had gone to pay municipal taxes to the city government. And these monies were paid to this person, hoping that it would have been channeled through the institution's account.
Can you just provide maybe a detail about these 4 institutions? Can you?
No, we wouldn't go into that. Like I'm saying, these are ongoing investigations, and we would not want to dive so deep into it. The consequential reason for which we are appearing on the radio is to provide clarity regarding who initiated the investigation. To provide clarity that the mayor is not a subject of ongoing investigation. To bring the public up to speed with some of the cases and not to dive deep into the substantive out of it while we await the outcome of the investigation. So again, like I was saying, this person received money from the 4 businesses, went to the revenue director to obtain receipt, and it was uncovered that the monies were not paid into MCC's EcoBank account as claimed by one of the persons who have been suspended. That's one of the cases being investigated. You also have impersonation and extortion also. You have people being investigated and under suspension for that. You have people going to businesses to issue solid waste inspection letters without the consent, and they are not authorized to do so. You have a Director General for Sanitation and Environmental Health who should initiate that. But you have people going to issue letters to people fraudulently to extort money from people. You have a case involving bribery of a Monrovia City police officer that is also being investigated. You also have the issue of payroll theft. There was a point in time at the city corporation where employees noticed the illicit deduction of their salaries. I was also affected in that process. For instance, you make $150 and then the month ends, you receive $90. This other person is also complaining, I make $200. The month has ended and I'm receiving $80. What is going on? So that also prompted investigation.
Okay.
So these are the ongoing cases that we are investigating at the Monrovia City Corporation.
Okay. Now let's talk about the counterfeit waste management, solid waste management letter. What did those letters, contain? What was the nature of those letters? Did they contain a similar message to the actual letter?
What we have with that issue, people forging signatures, crafting letters, and going to businesses and saying, we are here to inspect your facility. And they were not authorized to do so. You have someone who is responsible to do that. So that person is supposed to be the one going out there to do it. But then you have people in the corporation who are going out to these businesses with the sole intent of extorting money from the business institutions. So this is another case. You have an instance also where people, more like a cartel, coming together to carve a fraudulent payroll. Imagine someone is under suspension, and yet they are working as a team to send a fraudulent payroll and withdrawing money from the institution's account. We're talking about between January to April 2025. A total of 2.16 million Liberian dollars, and that's 21,000 US dollars illegally withdrawn from the institution's account.
What methods do you think were used to really get these monies from the institution's account?
Well, it is a well-organized crime. When people come together in a well-organized form to defraud a system, there are a lot of factors that play into that. So it was well organized, from issues of forgery of signatures to issue of manipulating documents. These are the things that we are talking about that have been occurring at the city corporation.
So how many employees have reported deductions in their salaries so far?
Yeah, like I was saying, you have multiple persons reporting the reduction in their salaries. And that was what prompted the need for investigation into those cases.
Okay, so let's talk about the finance department. How many individuals within the finance department that are implicated?
The first case, you had 3 persons who were implicated in the preliminary findings. You had 5 persons in another case also implicated in preliminary findings. What is being reported in the media that we also want to speak to? It touches me a lot when people make slanderous claims with the square intent to impugn the reputation of the mayor by attributing some of these things to him. The mayor should be the one taking credit for the investigations that have been launched into what has been unfolding at the city corporation. Just a couple of days ago, I followed the Spoon Network, and it will surprise you to note that some media institutions in this country are not interested in facts. Someone sits on the public platform and spew malicious lies to ruin someone's reputation. Imagine we had long launched investigation into these issues. I'm coming.
Yeah.
And then the FRA just got informed about these things, and they sent a request of information to the City Hall. But yet you had on this platform that the FRA has launched investigation at the City Hall because of corrupt issues. The FRA actually sent a letter of information, request information. All of what is contained in the letter of information from the FRA, it will tell you that they are leveraging upon the investigations that have been launched by the Monrovia City Corporation under the stewardship of Mayor John Charok Sefa.
Okay, so when can we expect, the report from these investigations? Because all of the questions we're asking, they are all under investigation.
Investigation is not an event. It is a process. I can't be definite and tell you it's going to end tomorrow. It's going to end this day. Imagine when we joined the city corporation, the GAC has been conducting an audit at the city corporation dating as far back as 2023 that runs up to now 2025. Investigation is a process. When the findings are made, we will certainly come back and update the public on where we are regarding these things. And certainly, people will have their day in court. This is not just going to end behind the scene. No one is shooting anyone regarding corrupt issues, and this is why the mayor is taking the bull by the horn. He is demonstrating commitment to ensuring fiscal discipline at the city corporation. And this is something we take pride in. We take immense pride in the fact that you have someone at the helm of leadership at the city corporation who is not shooting people who have oxidized the system for several years running. Because most of the people who are being implicated in these reports are people who have been with the corporation for 15 years, 10 years. And let me say this. We all know that fighting corruption, it does come with resistance. And this is what is bringing about the smear campaign that we are seeing today on Facebook and some media institutions that are not interested in the facts. And we want to say to friends in the media, do not allow allegations and accusations to control the narratives. Let the evidence speak for itself.
Okay.
Reach out to people, balance your story. Just yesterday, a platform that published 2 different contents that spew gibberish against the mayor. You publish 2 different content that speak so much unfounded claims. After that, 2-3 days after, then you reach out to me saying you want to get our side. That is not ethical journalism. That is not a moral institution.
Okay.
You should demonstrate professionalism by reaching out to balance your story. And that's what I told him.
So somebody would say there are, some vulnerabilities or maybe specific weaknesses in the financial system or the internal controls, let's say oversight mechanisms that allow these fraudulent activities.
So from the inception of his ascension to leadership, one of the things the mayor did was to have conducted internal audit at the MCC.
Okay.
That internal audit back then established that there were ghost names on the payroll. The internal audit. That internal audit established mismatch in terms of people's qualification and their job designation. You had people having degree maybe in agriculture, and perhaps you had them in the Department of Public Affairs that did not align with their qualification. All those institutional reforms were initiated by the mayor, and these reforms are still ongoing. It is part of these reforms that have been able to unearth some of the deficits that we are talking about today on your platform. The internal reforms that we are seeing at the city corporation have been some of the reasons why we are unearthing some of the malpractices at the city corporation. So a lot has been going on. Okay. And people have only taken to the public space to shine light on the negative.
Yes, because you're not providing enough information about what's happening.
We are. There are people who attach commercial value to the advocacies that they do. There are people who have commodified
But if
the
I
way
can
they do.
remember, this is the first time I'm hearing from the MCC. I could be wrong talking about this issue.
Yes, like I told you from the inception regarding this issue, because of the sensitive nature of the active cases, the MCC thought
you expect people to speculate.
yeah, people had to speculate.
Yeah.
You can't vet people's intention. You can't vet people's opinion. When opinions are rendered, people are entitled to those opinions. But when it is done on the platform like yours, then we come to speak about these things. I hope you get it, man. When it is done on the platform like yours, where we expect people to reach out to balance their story, and that is not being done, we have to come out to speak about these things before it becomes like a culture in society where once these things are said, and then people who are not level-headed begin to believe these things.
Okay. So let's talk about the process of determining the disciplinary measures against those who are suspended if they are found guilty.
You're talking about the actions that will be taken. That is not going to be determined by the city corporation. That will be determined when the court verdict is passed. When the court verdict is handed down, that's when that is going to be determined.
What about recovering the stolen funds?
Everything is going to be established at the level of the court.
Okay.
Yeah. Again, we want to use this platform
Yeah.
to say to the Liberian people that under the leadership of Mayor John Charok Sefa, there has been massive reform at the city corporation. There has been significant progress that we take pride in. When he took leadership at the city hall, he inherited a structure that had leakages everywhere. Massive renovation had to go on at the city hall. Under the leadership of Mayor John Charok Sefa, we have seen employees travel to India, to Japan, for capacity building training opportunities. We had some of our staff obtain professional certificate from the London School of Economics. Today, we have provided 25 scholarships to young people in our city who will be traveling to Gwangju, People's Republic of China, for advanced studies. Under the leadership of Mayor John Charok Sefa today, we have two facilities that we refer to as the transfer stations. If I show you pictures of how those facilities were inherited in decimated conditions, they were inherited in ruins. Under his leadership, those facilities were renovated and modernized. Under the leadership of Mayor John Charok Sefa, today, for the very first time, the Monrovia City Corporation can boast of a one-stop shop center, a place making business easy and convenient for residents in our city. That was not there before. Were you to visit the Monrovia City Corporation in the past, you have to run from one office to the other to pay taxes. That is not the case today.
With all these, issues around, how did you ensure transparency and accountability in some of these process you're naming?
In terms of what?
You're talking about people traveling, scholarship opportunity, renovation, you're talking about reforms. Now we hearing about, some of these issues about fraud, discrepancies and a lot of things at the Monrovia City Corporation. How did you ensure accountability and transparency in some of these reforms you're talking about?
So when it comes to the one that has to do with people who had to go for studies, it had to be a process based on the need of a department for capacity building. That was one. Even when we talk about the scholarship today, the international scholarships that are being accorded to young people in our city, you had a process where a public information was placed out there, announcement was placed out there for people to apply for those scholarships as well. We had a live television broadcast of the folks who had gone to the city corporation to write the aptitude test for those scholarship opportunities. An open and transparent process. So this is someone who comes with more than 21 years experience in the corporate sector. He is not guessing about what to do at the city corporation. He is finding practical solutions to the long-standing structural problems that were inherited at the city corporation. Reforms take time. We do admit, if I sit here and tell you that the Monrovia City Corporation is not confronted with challenges, then I will be lying. There are challenges, but we are working around the clock to surmount those challenges. And this is why today the mayor is not just sitting, but is also tapping into international basket. Today you have Guangzhou, China, that is expected to donate a fire engine to the Monrovia City Corporation. For the very first time, the city corporation will have a fire service truck to buttress the effort of the Liberia National Fire Service. People today talk about the presence of garbage in the street, which we do admit as well, and say these are part of the challenges as an institution that we are faced with. Just a couple of months ago, I was on your platform. Representative Mema Briggs Mensah hailed the MCC for seeing what she saw on the foreign front, where people are in the street day and night cleaning the city. It's part of these challenges that we are raveling with. The city corporation mass clearing team is in the field day and night, ensuring that the city is kept clean. Today, people only talk about what the MCC is supposed to be doing. But I say to you, regarding the cleanliness of the city, it is a shared responsibility that we must all collectivize our action to ensure that this city becomes vibrant and a thriving one, a one that is enviable in the eyes of our friends outside. Yeah.
Okay. Now, are the businesses, or let's say involved, or EcoBank, are they cooperating with the investigation?
Certainly, they are also a part of the investigation as well. And this is one reason why the city corporation had to ensure that external actors were invited to investigate this case, because you have a third-party institution like the banking institution. So it could not have remained with the Monrovia City Corporation for internal investigation. This is why you have the Criminal Services Division at the LNP also being a part of the ongoing investigation. Yeah.
So what measures are now being put in place to ensure that, bank deposits or verify bank deposits, more rigorously in the future? Because this is a huge thing, the amount you're calling, 2 million.
It is the measures that were put into place that unearth these things. So we are furthering to intensify effort in terms of the preventive aspect. And that is well on course at the city corporation to make sure that we do not have a reoccurrence of these kind of activities at the city corporation. Like I'm telling you, it was actually a cartel, and to break a cartel, it does come with resistance. And this is the resistance that have been translated into the smear campaign today that we are seeing in the media. People go to Facebook, you take on to Facebook and say whatever you want to say without any substantive evidence to support the claims that you are making. We are saying, okay, someone who does not come from a professional media background, if he or she says that on the platform, you can reason with them. But a rational person who is a journalist that sits on the radio, you want to reach out and get the other side of the story. And this is why we are here today on your platform, to tell our story about what is unfolding at the MCC. Let me tell you another story about a significant intervention that was made by the city corporation. It might look minute to people. I'm talking about slipway. For more than 8 years running, you had a latrine, a public latrine facility that was in a poor condition. It was in despair. It took the venerable intervention of the city corporation under Mayor John Charles Sefa to have renovated that facility. When it was in the state of despair, it resorted to the residents within the Crown Hill and Slipway community using the Misurado River as a place for biological relief. I'm talking about defecation. But today, the residents are hailing the intervention that was made by the mayor. Today, young people from the Salvation Army University, the Stella Maris Polytechnic, their ideas are being incorporated by the city corporation to design the kind of city, the kind of Monrovia that they would like to see. Under this astute leadership of Mayor John Charik Sefa, a host of reforms have been taking place at the city corporation.
You said you're also a victim of the let's say salary deduction. For how long?
That happened on 2 separate occasions.
Okay.
Yeah, it happened on 2 separate occasions, and because of the swift intervention of the mayor.
What were the months?
I'm talking about 3-4 months ago. That's when we actually experienced that, and we saw the swift intervention of the mayor on that.
Okay, 3-4 months ago, but this is just coming to light, and it has not been a month.
Yeah, so the actual cases that prompted the ongoing investigations were the ones now that happened just a couple of months ago, from the issue of the Echo Bank, where someone received money that should have been paid into the institution's account, was not paid into the institution's account. You had the issues of people going out to issue fake letters of inspection. That also prompted investigation. You had people under suspension sending fake payroll, manipulated payroll to banking institution. That necessitated the need for investigation into all of what has been taking place at the city corporation. So instead of attributing the ongoing investigation to outside sources, these investigations were launched by the city corporation under the instruction of Mayor John Charik Sefa. That is the message we want to send out there. And the message we also want to send out is that he is not being investigated by any anti-graft institution, as some people are posting on Facebook.
Okay. So, Vani, we have to go. The time is short, 30 minutes. Just wrap it up. 30 seconds, and you can walk away.
Okay, so again, it's just to re-emphasize that the Monrovia City Corporation, under the leadership of Mayor John Charik Sefa, has been making a lot of significant interventions, from internal reforms at the City Hall to the issue of infrastructural renovation, to the issue of making sure that the city has a facelift. We do understand these things come with challenges. The city corporation is well on course with ensuring that we have a vibrant city. The Monrovia City Corporation is well on course to ensuring that the city of Monrovia is kept clean, and we are making practical our actions to make sure that these things come to fruition. And so we want to thank you for providing us the platform this morning. We also want to call on our media colleagues. Today by 12 noon, the mayor will be at the MICAT press conference. He's going to take the stand at MICAT to speak to some of these issues as well that have been in the corridors over the last few days.
Thank you, Vani, and I hope that the results of the investigation will be out very soon.
Oh, certainly. We will keep the public posted. We will come back. We will debrief you about what's unfolding at the City Hall.
Okay, thank you, Vani.
Thank you.
And it seems like a tradition, right? Always when I listen to my bossman Clarence Jackson, even if it is for a minute, he will play Freedom Fighters. And so this is Freedom Fighter. You listen to Vanny Dix there from the Monrovia City Corporation.
When they were coming, they said they were freedom.
And I know a lot of you had some questions to ask, but because of time, we could not take calls. 9 o'clock, we usher in our second guest, and they're going to be here up to 10 o'clock. So we take a piece of Freedom Fighter. And a reminder that today is the election at the UN. Liberia is seeking a non-permanent seat. And previously we were talking about what does the seat mean to you as a Liberian citizen, and what are some of the issues you want Liberia to champion when they win the seat at the UN Security Council. And we all know that Liberia has endured a devastating civil war for many years. However, with significant international support, including a large UN peacekeeping mission, Liberia successfully transitioned to peace and has maintained it for nearly 2 decades. And this experience gives Liberia valuable first-hand knowledge of conflict resolution, post-conflict recovery, and the challenges of peace building. And so we understand what it takes to move from war to stability, right? And that perspective is crucial in a body dedicated to peace and security. And also, for a long time, Liberia has been a recipient of international peace efforts, and now we are a contributor. And Liberia currently deploys its own peacekeepers to various UN missions around the world, demonstrating our commitment to global peace beyond our own borders. And this transition shows a deep understanding and commitment to the UN's core mission. A lot of other reasons, like long-standing commitment to the UN, championing key global issues, advocacy for human rights and the rule of law, climate security. Somebody will say rule of law, and somebody will attack me when I say rule of law. Women, peace and security agenda, regional stability and leadership. A lot of reasons, right? So in essence, Liberia offers a perspective that is both deeply rooted in its own joining of peace and broadly relevant to the challenges facing the international community. And so we continue with this issue of Liberia's seat at the UN Security Council. We will continue. You will just take course. This is a very important day, for Liberia. And what does this seat mean to you as a Liberian citizen? We continue with that for up to 20 minutes. And then after that, we take our guest at 9 o'clock. What does this seat mean to you? What do you hope will be some of the changes that we will see or the country will experience when the seat is gotten? We are all aware that Liberia is highly vulnerable to the impacts of climate change, right? So having a seat at the UN Security Council will also allow Liberia to advocate for climate security as a critical component of global peace, and also highlighting how environmental degradation can exacerbate conflicts and displace populations. A lot of reasons, but you have your own opinion, you have your own thoughts. What does this mean to you? We continue up to 9 o'clock. Good morning.
Good morning, Fatu.
Good morning. Let's hear you.
Thank you very much for picking my call. Abu, I want to channel for the blind people. I'm calling for the time.
Okay.
Yeah, for you, I want to say, please thank you to all of the and I want to make no mistake in your son. The nation will come to our rising. I think today, you see thousands of countries come to Labrador rising. We'll rejoice, we'll be happy. But one thing I want to say to the government, that is extremely on LMTV, all platforms, everybody able to go to our foreign affairs. The person who are disabled, they're not able to go there. Even if that play will be careful, mostly official diplomatic people. So let's be on the Pivot TV, that we will listen out of Pivot TV. But you play about that, Labrador is rising. People will come to Labrador rising. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you. Good morning. Good morning. Goodness. Good morning, caller. Oops, we lost it. Good morning. Good morning, you're live.
Hi, good morning, Fatu Kamara, and good morning to residents of District Number 12.
Let's hear you.
Voice of activist Jeremiah P.K. Cooper. And I'll be joining this morning from Arlington Estate Junction. So let me appreciate you for the topic on our discussion this morning. But what I want to say is that this seat or this bid represents a moment of immense national pride and global significance as it relates to Labrador seeking to play a more active role at the United Nations Security Council. Labrador is not just a diplomatic aspiration, but it is a commitment to international cooperation as well. Because we are on record of taking part in the many peace and reconciliatory missions around the globe and the continent as well. So this it further amplifies the image of our country. So no matter who is the current president, that shouldn't be our main focus. Be it civil society activists, be it a political party, no matter your position, we should all champion the cause and make sure that Labrador get our seat today. Well, this is just free victory and congratulatory message to this country because it is resident show has come the program last night when OPS was carrying it. And when I listened to some of those who spoke, they said that Labrador, congratulations in advance. Those who went to take part in the program today. So it sent a signal that indeed it is a matter of more that we want to get our seat today.
Okay.
So that's my take on that issue. So thanks so kindly for the time. I think this is Jeremiah P.K. Cooper.
Okay, thank you. Good morning. Mansa can be activist too. Good morning. Activist Markley Renner. Good morning, caller. Oops. Good morning. Good morning. You're live. Let's hear you.
Yeah, thank you so much. There's a Paco Foundation now, Fiamma.
All right.
I copy you. I copy you. We are to see the wonderful the OK family.
Okay.
I copy my CEO child on our Karen Johnson. Yeah, thank you for the topic so much. Today we are needing to go to the pool. I will play every family here wood to go watch the occasion and those family who put around other country put around for the election. We Liberians, we got to pray and win our seat. Or win our seat, our seat get more places opportunity. It's not positive. That won't be positive. You pop out the air, pop out the piano, it's time for us to pray. Go in the church and pray to win our seat. You know, I've seen about Joe Parker, I've seen for every teacher generation. Thank you, Maya. God bless you.
Okay, thank you. God bless you too.
Thank you so much, Olive. Thank you.
Fatu.
We all got to be into it. Yeah, Paco.
Okay. Good morning.
Thank you. Thank you, Olive.
Good morning, Fatu.
Bureau of Professional to promote national agenda.
This is Fatu Kamara.
Okay. So let me firstly commend Her Excellency Madam Sarah Baslo Yanti for the hard work over the past time. And I can assure you that this victory is not just a victory of the Unity Party government, but there is a victory for every many Liberians.
Okay.
So I'm calling on all Liberians in and out of Liberia to support this government, because this government is moving on the right trajectory. There are development going on all over the counties, and you can just name it. So there is a success that every one of us need to support and celebrate. Thank you very much for having me on the line.
Thank you. Let's take this. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, my name is Christopher S. Nambe Jr.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm phoning from my Square Blood Entertainment on District 14.
Go ahead, let's hear you.
Let me join the many forces this morning and wish our beloved country a win in this election that is going to take part in today. Moreover, while the stew all is not well, but the first and foremost is that we should put our blood first. And in that, I join the forces but to be a victorious come the election today at the UN National Assembly.
Okay, thank you. Let's take this 0777 700 995 555 995 995. This caller. Good morning.
Good
morning.
Fatu.
Let's hear you.
How was the night, Fatu?
Very well, thank you.
Well, you're talking to MOG Marigo down the Tunwa.
Okay.
Fatu, I want to bless God that I was storming 1992 to 93 before even to 94. I could recall in 1991 to 92, Bishop Duncan Williams came and he said, Liberians, you need to pray because you continue to kill your presidents. And we had that fast and prayer to better war. Today we want to bless God that we got former president. But those people that are enjoying our resources in this country, then when good things come in to go against it, we lead them with God. God had a solution for them. Today I wear my red and white and I go into my church with my pupils. We celebrating for that seat. Liberia is a founding member of the United Nations. So since 1961 to 64, we have left that seat. We are going back there. Others that enjoy the country, they got everything to their disposal. Their children attending good school, they are there playing evil against the nation. But God have resolved for them. But today, I want to ask all Liberians, whether in the forest, in the city where you are, celebrate for the nation today.
Okay.
This is a great joy for the nations. Let God bless the OKFN. Let God bless everyone that are supporting good news in the nation. God bless you. Our prayer is not in vain. God bless you, Father.
Thank you. 0777 700 995 are the numbers. 0555 995 995. This caller, good morning.
Good morning, SK.
Good morning. Let's hear you.
There is Uncle Carol and I call from Cornwall.
Go ahead.
I would like to say thanks to all of those countries and individuals, especially the Her Excellency, the Foreign Minister of Syria, Leslie Yanti, for her tirelessly effort in making sure that Liberia is counted among the League of Nations, and also to the past government who initiated such an event. I just want to say, look, to all Liberians, like yesterday interview, I think one of the spokesperson, the caution that Liberians we should wear red, white, and blue so that we can symbolize our, the strength of our country, the patriotism of our country. I think we all can do that so that the world can know that we are rallying around our country.
Okay.
flag is up today, so we all can be victorious. Thank you and have a blessed day, FK.
Thank you. 777-700-995. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Let's hear you.
Okay. I'm Joseph Mova, calling from Nikuta.
Okay.
Okay. I would like to pray for Liberia, for my need, that they sit, we secure the seat, and be one of the decision-making body for the world. Yes, she thinks she's the one who was part of the decision-making body. But from that time up to now, we never seen it. But this, we are going to celebrate it. We're going to embrace it, and we claim it, that God bless us win this seat. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Good morning, caller.
Good morning to you, Sister Fatu Kamara. How are you?
I'm fine.
Yeah, this has been in the Wizard. I'm calling you from 24th Street.
Let's hear you. What does this seat mean to you? What are your expectations? Your hopes?
Oh, yes. God bless our native Liberia, so that she may waken from her sleep, fill up with her plenty, guard her feet, yet us faithful son, yet us faithful son. Spirit descend, Spirit, Spirit, Spirit descend, Spirit, Spirit, Spirit descend, Spirit descend, faithful son, yet us faithful son. This is our Pan Africanist song that I'm doing for Liberia this morning. I pray that all the blessing will be upon us, because we have been a great country from the beginning of United Nations, I think, for the fight of the present. We made a lot of contribution to the world. Thank you very much.
You
pray for our success.
Were you in choir before?
Yeah, I sing for the University of Liberia Chorus.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I sing for my church, senior choir, the Extra Number United Church.
That's great. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right, 0777-700-995, 555-995-995. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Fatu. Let me say a pleasant good morning to the Liberian profile in the broadcast this morning.
Go ahead. Let's hear you briefly.
Thank you. There's a voice of G right here, Somerville, Virginia, and I followed a show from Painesville this morning.
Okay.
Fatu, this morning, I'm glorified, happy-fied, and jolly-fied that our country, Liberia, going to be on the map again on the national stage. And I want to speak to Liberians. We shouldn't politicize this effort.
Okay.
This fight is a fight for all Liberians. It's a fight for our future generation. It's a fight for the new Liberia. And then to our Liberian people, let's talk about a very important issue. The particular position we are vying for is so very important. They're going to help this nation. Everything is going to just be about rice, and eating. Today, if you eat, the next day you're going to be moving to the bathroom. Let's focus on what our country can achieve from a particular seat. There's not a glory to a particular political party. It's a fight for all Liberians, whether you for CDC, Unity Party, or whatever party that you find yourself in. This seat and this victory, is for Liberia.
Okay.
And I'm urging all Liberians, speak good to your radio, speak good to your television, and let all of us celebrate this victory. This is one of a happy man, Fatu.
Thank you. Let's take this caller here. Good morning, caller.
Hello?
Good morning. Let's hear you.
Yeah, I'm Ivan Johnson calling from Tubo. Is this okay, FM?
Of course.
Okay, so the issue is still there. You see, I listened to the former foreign minister the other day on Spoon FM, and he said a lot of things. He said it's like when you cook the food and dish it or in a leave for people to eat it. So if for any reason Liberia can get a permanent seat, then I mean it's because of the government disrespecting the rule of law and other things in the country. So that whole thing about the UN security seat is already been secured. The former president did his best by making sure that Africa can select Liberia. The whole Africa can select Liberia. So if for any reason we didn't get our seat, me I will take it out with the current government because they are killing people and nothing coming out of it.
So you see, that's the problem with you people. You just call and just make baseless allegations. Like seriously, what's that? Look, let's take this caller. Good morning, caller. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. Let's hear you.
This is Ruben Kane, and I called from my Ghana resident this morning.
Okay.
Let me appreciate you and let me appreciate the people of Liberia. For me, I told somebody, this is a win-win case for Liberia. It's not for an individual. For the fact that this issue is not about political issue, is about the growth of the country. We also embrace this particular event. We pray so that Liberia can be on the map after 40 years. Because remember, Fatu, our English up there, no matter our political differences in the country, or no matter how shape we all are facing this country, maybe this will change the dynamic by those who say our country is not a peaceful place, is not a democratic place. Yes, in this, let us understand that the United Nations, in the recognition, as role played by Liberia yesterday, to as a member, as a founding members, that alone we should take as issue, to be patriotic and pray for this country so that we can achieve the goal. Thank you very much this morning.
Thank you. We take two more and usher in our second guest. Let's take this from here. Good morning.
Good morning. Fatu.
Yeah.
Let me say good morning to the listening audience. This is following Wea Junior, and I'm joining you from the car web there this morning. Well, Fatu, you have said it all, especially when it relates to the importance of the seat on a question. But I'm kind of constrained to call because of the caller that left the line before the last one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me make it clear here. Maybe he didn't follow the deputy minister Deputy Minister Yen when he appeared on class relay. According to the minister, when he took over the turning over note, you remember Fatu, the former government and the current government worked together in the transitional process. According to him, there was no information about Liberia, applying or declaring intention for this particular seat on the CDC government. I want to make that clear. The caller that left the line before the last one, he came with wildcat allegation for which you were kind of frowning on him. But the basic information is that the CDC government did not play any role into this acquiring this seat. That is why when this government took over and saw the necessity of this seat, they decided to arrest all significant people, thinking that we're going to leverage former President Weah's popularity, football popularity, and the rest of it across the world. But he declined. Even up to now, President Weah said it's not part of it. While people are in America, at the United Nations trying to lobby, President Weah is attending community, or tournament.
It's okay now. We're not talking President Weah and President Barker here.
Yeah, so I just want to make it clear to the public that the past government did nothing about this seed, and citizens should not make it look bad. It's started on the city government.
That's why I cut him off. Okay. Okay, we take let's take this break. We cannot take any more calls. Let's take this break and then we will usher in our second guest. And our guests are from Food Authority. They are already in the building. Let's take this break to be right back here on the OK Money Rush. So I think I was wrong. We're still awaiting our guest from Food Authority, and they are going to be talking to us briefly about World Food Safety Day celebration 2025 on June 7th. It's going to be tomorrow, right? June 7th? Oh, no, it's not tomorrow. I'm sorry. So, it's on June 7th. World Food Safety Day celebration is going to be celebrated. And then we are supposed to have in studio Food Authority to give us updates as it relates to, planning for the celebration of the World Food Safety Day comes June 7th. So we will just continue with the course. Call us on 0777 700 995 0555 995 995. We're still waiting our guests from Food Authority, and as soon as they arrive, we will take them. But it's now 9 o'clock, and we are still awaiting our guests. We have this caller. Good morning, caller. So when you call, you stay away from the monitor, please. Okay? 777 700 995 555 995 995 are the numbers to call and be a part of this program. We take this caller here. Good morning, caller.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, thank you very much for the presentation.
Yeah.
Historically, Liberia has been there before. And by the way, I'm Alfred T. Thompson. I'm from Maryland, but right now I'm in Monrovia, New Jersey, to be specific. I've been following the discussion. Every patriotic Liberian should be up and be gearing up and praising and begging and praying God for this thing to happen, for Liberia to gain that seat. We have been there before. Angie Randolph Brooks, in the 1970s, she was a representative of Liberia at the United Nations. And during the rotational process that they had, Liberia gained that rotation. She became president of the Security Council. And she acted as chair. And during that time, a lot of things were achieved. You remember, we were then struggling for African independence, decolonization in Africa, in Rhodesia, Zimbabwe, and the situation in the Arab world, the Palestinian cause, and what have you. And so this is not the first time, but it has taken a long time now for Liberia. I think for our re-entry on the global stage is something that every Liberian should be praying for. So we pray honestly that God will grant Liberia that chance to again ascend to that stage and become one of the beacon of hope for the world. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you there. Good morning.
Good morning, Fatu.
Good morning.
Good morning, Fatu.
Okay, let's hear you.
Okay, my name is Prince P. Wills. I'm from Electoral District number 3 this morning. Fatu, I beg when people are calling, I just believe that when they want to bring the issue of Party Y and Party C, let there be a ground root and let us discuss Mama Liberia this morning. I woke up this morning seeing other friends who are Nigerians put him and DM in solidarity with us that Liberia should get a seat. So it's about Mama Liberia. I want to actually appreciate two senators who have done extremely well in their fight, in their state they're fighting. Senator Wezam Begon Finde, Senator Snow, they are doing exceptionally well. Every Liberian applaud them and give them a push, and we all pray that Mama Liberia can once more get there as a founding member of the United Nations, one of the oldest African states, and going back on that seat to sit as non-permanent representative, I think it means a lot for us as Liberians. So when we have our counterpart in solidarity with us, sharing with us, and praying that we should get a seat, let us leave the issue of politics and look at Mama Liberia.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Okay, 0777 700 995 0555 995 995 0778 594 595. And if we cannot have our guests in here by 10 minutes after 9, we will change the topic and discuss something else. But until then, good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. My name is Alexander Anwar. I'm calling from Kamara.
Yeah. Yeah, let's hear you. Oops, we lost him. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes.
Yeah, my name is Lara J. Tumbo from Kisafi.
Okay.
I just want to appreciate God so much for Mama Labua, for our president, President Joseph Boakai. Thank you so much for giving us president working for Mama Labua. This is not so much a party, oh, we don't want to start this, we don't want to start that. This all about Liberia, so we all should be able to give God appreciation for what He's doing for us. Because we are doing it for our children. We are not doing it for ourselves now, for the next generation to come. So the party, there are many parties that are there in Liberia today, they are no more. So the party will never solve our problem in life. So I just want to tell God, thank you so much for Mama Liberia. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, caller. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Okay, go ahead. Let's hear you.
Thank you. I like the way you really anchoring this program.
Okay.
You see, we need peace into the country. And if people continue to give information that is not even factual and not true, it's not good. You see, when Madam Salif left office, we never saw this kind of thing here. But thank God that you people studying in this very studio, you're trying your best for the people to understand that the way they're thinking, the other people are not thinking like that.
Okay.
The man why you're promoting, the playing football, making football tournament, or what thing you can put on the air today in the social media that he has done that will give all the credit for what we advocating for. But thank you for the peace and thank you so.
Thank you. He was president, though. Okay, good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, my dear sister Fatu.
Yeah, let's hear you.
My name is Gratis Akida Ezra, and I join you from the embassy of Korea Morocco.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. Listen to few callers saying that shifting blame on the other party not doing this. Let me say this. This morning, I think everyone of us should be going for the of Liberia. Now claiming about cities blame, shifting blame to the other person, shifting blame on the other person. So we are calling on everybody to stop doing about CDC and other United Party thing. This is Liberia thing. That's we all pray that Liberia should be successful today. This is our prayer. Now about the other party thing, Thank you. My name is Gladys Akira Musa, and I join you from the embassy of Korea Morocco.
Thank you so much. Good morning, caller. Good morning.
Good morning, Fatu.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Diana Toer. Good morning, as Peter and Peters. I call you from Congo Town.
Diana, go ahead.
Yeah, Fatu. Actually, let me say thanks for the show. I've been following you, even though I don't call, sometimes I comment. But I really admire you. You know, hosting the show is not something easy, but you are doing extremely well, to be honest.
Yeah.
So thank you.
You're welcome.
No, I want to join the rest of the people that are calling in to also say we wish Liberia well. People are saying I shouldn't say party. Yes, it's true, but we need to recognize and appreciate even those that started the whole process. We understand that the previous government started the process and they did extremely well by pleading on behalf of Liberia. This is why today Liberia is going to contest not against any other country because we know ECOWAS is voting bloc. So we must appreciate the previous administration as well, President George Mine. We are inside the whole process and also the current leadership for the effort they've been making so far. So we cannot look at it. We cannot stop the past, or we cannot say that we don't recognize them because they are no longer in power. We have to recognize them as well. Thank you.
you are a parent who have a kid, and that kid is, and that kid is stubborn at home, very stubborn at home. But in as much as that kid is stubborn at home, you want that kid to do well at school. You still want that kid to go out there and do well and be a good person. You say, okay, the person stubborn, at home, the person doesn't work, the person is lazy, but you still want that kid to be a good person, so that if that kid goes out there, because that kid is a representation of you, right? That kid is you out there. So you want that kid to do well. In this case, Liberia is not a kid, right? So you want that child to do well, in as much as you know that that child is really stubborn, or that child is lazy, the child is not working at home. I think it's high time. Somebody says, I'm using high time. That thing, it's time to celebrate. It's time to support Liberia's bid for a non-permanent seat. It's not really about politics. It should be a collaborative effort. Past government, current government. We are all Liberians, right? If there was no past government, there are a lot of things we're not going to be talking about. If there's no current government, it's going to be the same. We're not going to be talking about a lot of things. We all have a role to play. And I don't want anybody discrediting someone or a past government. The past government played their role. And you cannot change that. We cannot erase that. So nobody come and call and say, and one thing people do, you just make some baseless allegations. You don't even have proof of it. You just call and say anything only because you know how to say something. This is wrong. It's wrong. I'm not going to allow that. When you call, you have your opinion, you say your say, and let somebody else come and say what they want to say. But you cannot call and just give false information, something you have no proof of, just to spark, argument or whatever, controversies. Let's take this caller. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Let's hear you.
Madam Kamara, this is Moses Donyepan from Ashmore Street.
Yeah.
I appreciate the way you're trying to monitor or moderate the program. We as Liberian, the word Liberia embody all of us, past, present, whatever, now we call Liberian. And today is a day that all of us should speak with one voice. People to start coming up with challenge, with disrespectfulness, and trying to create another scenario. So we have different Liberians that are seeking to go on to the Security Council, and there are others who are not seeking. We all are seeking for that purpose, because Liberia is a founding member of the United Nations. Today, we are seeking for a non-permanent seat. It should be every Liberian, school-going guy, market-going woman, working man, whoever should stand up this morning. They have voices that will be heard either on BBC, Deutsche Welle, whatever media. We should not come our way. The enmity that we're not supposed to. Today is not a day for me to look back and see somebody else in a different mood. I think it's not right for our society. It's not right. Let our voices come into a united move to help those who are advocated until today. They are now going about the process.
Okay.
So I really admire you. Please discourage most of your callers who coming in with this kind of difference. It's not right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. 777-700-995. I'm told our next guest is already here. Briefly, I'm told. Okay, our guest I already here. We will just end the course and take a very short break. We will soon usher them in. And as I said earlier, our next guest will be from Food Authority, and World Food Safety celebration is coming up June 7. So they are here to give us updates as it relates to preparations ahead of the celebration. So I'm not taking any more calls. We're taking a break to be right back. And as I said, our guests are here. Okay, it's now 17 minutes past 9 o'clock this morning. Our guests are already in the studio with us. We will just join them quickly. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, I'm seeing Patrick A. Blamo Jr., the head of certification and inspection at Liberia Standard Authority, and also Lenido?
Isaac Donko, yes, from UNIDO.
Okay. Oh, that's UNIDO. Isaac Donko for UNIDO, and he's the chief technical advisor. So, who is Isaac Donko and who is Patrick?
Good morning once again, and good morning to your listeners.
Okay.
I'm Isaac Donko from the United Nations Industrial Development Organization, and we are implementing an EU-funded project called the Liberian Food Safety Initiative.
Okay, let's hear from you.
Okay, so I'm Patrick A. Blamo Jr., and I played a special role as head of certification and technical inspection at the Liberia Standards Authority. So the Liberia Standards Authority is a national body that is responsible for the development and dissemination of standards across the Republic. We also involve into conformity assessment services that have to do with testing of food product, technical inspection, as well as the provision of certification against set standards.
Okay. Now, we already far in time. Let's talk about the World Food Safety Day celebration, because I'm told that is one of the reasons why you're here. Firstly, what is the World Food Safety Day? What's the history of this World Food Safety Day?
All right. Sorry. So yeah, the World Food Safety Day, it's supposed to be a celebration, an annual celebration, but also more to the point, it's supposed to be an awareness of the effect of unsafe food globally. If you are minded, 600 million people fall ill to foodborne, related illness every year, and that it's about 1/10 of the world population annually falling ill, and in fact, about 400 to 500,000 people die from foodborne illness annually globally.
Okay.
And it's even worse when we come to our part of the world, sub-Saharan Africa, where about 137,000 people die from foodborne illness every year.
Okay.
30% are children under 5 years. So it tells you that it's a global health issue, and it's even exacerbated when it comes to our part of the world. Okay. And so it's important that we are reminded of the need to, consume safe food, because the monies that could be, spent, and we are talking about 110 billion annually spent on medication, and not to talk of the productivity losses annually. If we were to divert this money elsewhere, I think we can develop our country, our part of the world will be more developed. So we need to really focus on making sure that the food that we consume is safe, so that we are healthy to be able to, be productive and contribute to the nation. So every year, the WHO and FAO came together to designate the 7th of June every year as a World Food Safety Day. And in Liberia, we are commemorating this through the Food Authority of Liberia and other partners.
Why is it particularly important for Liberia?
It is particularly important for Liberia because the things that I mentioned, maybe the story behind the numbers might not really be handy, so we cannot provide the numbers in Liberia. But I'm sure that every year, especially as we enter the rainy season, we will hear, food-borne outbreaks, cholera, and so forth. In that part of the world, again, and I'm emphasizing on this, about 80% of the food that we consume is through informal, sector. We buy from street food vendors, and these are the conduit for, unsafe food. And so, and this is common. We see street food vendors everywhere,
Okay.
And so it's quite imperative that we take this seriously, because if we were to go deeper into the numbers, we realize that these numbers are not, say, UK numbers, not Germany. It's probably most of the numbers are coming from Africa. Okay. So it's important for us to consume safe food. Apart from the health implication, it also has trade implication. I mean, if a country that is so much endowed cannot export its product because it is not deemed to be safe, then we are losing out. So if Nigeria tends to import most of its food, and consumer tends to believe or to trust product that is coming outside from Liberia than those that are emanating from our country. So it's important that we take this seriously and create this awareness, not just because of the day, but as a continual, a project that we continue to, create awareness amongst ourselves that we need to consume safe food.
Okay, let's hear from you. What's the team, and let's talk about some of the plans as we, look forward to the day.
Okay, so there's a global theme for this year World Food Safety Day, and the theme is using science, as a tool for the production of safe food.
Okay.
But then we as a country, we coin a more national theme, and that theme is using science to promote safe food practices and healthy living. So that is our national theme. So just to add up to what he was saying, especially to why it's important to us as a country. When you look at poor sanitation and foodborne diseases, there's a good correlation between that and developing countries. And Liberia as a country lacks the effective implementation of standards that are good science guide for the production of safe food. And so with the evolution of two important institutions, that is the Food Authority of Liberia and that of the Liberia Standards Authority, these two institutions with a good correlation and support coming from other institutions, for example, our partner here in studio, we are able to curtail these foodborne diseases. But we think that the best way or the first way to start is through awareness purposes. So that is why we thought to use this program as a tool to carry on the awareness about safe food practices in Liberia.
Okay, so looking at the team, science and action in food safety, what does that practically look like here for us in Liberia?
Okay, so to speak to that science in action practically from the Liberian standpoint, the scientific aspect of safe food is actually the application of standards.
Okay.
So what is a standard? A standard is a guiding document and usually a voluntary document. Voluntary means you can choose to use that document, but the document is a guide or a kind of instrument and is intended to guide you step by step how to go about just producing anything, not only food. So most of the food that are produced at industrial level, at market level, at home level are supposed to be guided by these instruments so as to ensure the consistency of the food and to also ensure that at the end of the food that is being produced, there is quality and safety at the end. So that is the science background of it, and we believe that the best way we can actualize this global theme of science in action or using science is for us to create more awareness on the importance of using standards in the production of food.
Okay.
And so that is where this a union comes in with the Food Authority and that of the Liberia Standards Authority. So the Liberia Standards Authority provides services.
Okay.
The Food Authority. So we provide a wide range of services, but one of those services is food. We provide services for food production. FAO, the Food Authority of Liberia, is solely responsible for food, but they are a regulatory authority. So the regulatory authority is to say, hey, you need to produce safe food. You need to use standard to produce safe food, and your production facility is supposed to be this kind of way. Those that are producing the food have to have this kind of competence. Then the Liberia Standards Authority come in with the standards that FAO wants you to use, and then they also come in with this technical training program that they provide in terms of strengthening the competence of your people to have the requisite knowledge to be able to produce the food. So there is this simulation, this kind of coordination between the two institutions, and that is where science play out.
Okay, now let's come to the activities leading to the celebration of the day, because we are running out of time. Let's talk about the activities leading to the celebration of the World Food Safety Day. What's your role, your different roles in when it comes to your institutions?
Well, from the Liberian Food Safety Initiative, as I mentioned earlier, we are a project funded by the European Union.
Okay.
We started our work last year, and we are going to be around for the next 3 or so years.
Okay.
And our main focus is to, boost, trade in and the consumption of safe food, and then also to support SMEs to comply, like my brother mentioned, with these standards. So standards always come at a cost. If you want to comply, you have to do more than you were doing prior to the standards. And that means that SMEs naturally wouldn't want to incur more cost in complying with these standards. Fortunately, prior to March this year, there was no Food Authority of Liberia. And so March this year, the Food Authority, giving meaning to the Food Act that had been in existence for some time, was established, meaning now there's a regulator. once there's a regulator, it's going to force, SMEs to comply. But then you need the service providers to be able to also provide these services. Hitherto, if you want to, do some test on your food, you have to send it to another country in West Africa to do conformity assessment and all these things. Now it can be done here. And as a project, we are supporting the Food Authority of Liberia.
Okay.
We're supporting the Liberian Standards Authority and other institutions like National Public Health Institute of Liberia, National Agriculture and Fisheries Authority, and LACRA, which is the Liberian Agricultural Commodity Authority. So these are institutions who play very vital role in food safety, ensuring food safety in the country. And yet you see that their roles are quite fragmented. But with the advent of the Food Authority of Liberia, they will take the lead as a regulator. But then you have to operationalize the law. You need to put meat into the law. It can't be subjective. You can't walk in and say, I'm closing down your shop.
Okay.
It has to be based on science.
Do you have a knowledge about the current capacity of food testing laboratories in Liberia?
He's sitting right there.
Okay.
Okay. You asked a question, and I thought the first question, and I thought that we should do some level of justice to that.
Okay, about the activities leading to the celebration.
Yeah. So we originally planned some outdoor activities, and we wanted to involve the students because we thought that they are very good carrier of messages, especially when they get the messages right. And when they get the messages from authority, like from their teachers or so, they go home and they bounce the messages on their parents. So we thought to use them for this year's celebration, bring them to the program and give them the information at the lowest level that they can understand and be able to carry out. But with the current issue with monkeypox in the country, we thought it was not important for us to have this huge gathering, so we thought to do it with that. So as part of the indoor, we'll be having an indoor program, and the indoor program is going to constitute a panel discussion. So we bring experts on board from diverse background, but within the same stakeholder, full stakeholder arena with vast knowledge for us to discuss issues surrounding food and food safety. And then also we are here in studio. It's also part of the celebration activities to ensure that we are able to carry on awareness using this broad-based media. All right, so you asked now regarding testing capacity, right? So the Liberia Standards Authority comes far back, almost 15 years, with support from UNIDO representatives here in studio. So there's this a long history of that. So UNIDO gifted that laboratory to Liberia, and later on Liberia had to own it as a national body until it got transitioned in 2022 to the Liberia Standards Authority. So the laboratory has existed and it has had capacity, especially being supported from diverse sources, the Ministry of Agriculture projects, the STAR project, the RETRAP project, SADFON project, and other UNIDO initiative, FAO. They have all been supporting the lab, and the lab has a huge testing capacity from both macrobiological as well as chemical test parameters. So from chemical parameters, we can run a wide range of tests on food, water, and beverages as well, chemical parameters. So we recently got a support on HPLC from the SADFON's project under the Ministry of Agriculture, and we are expecting reagents in the next 100 days. When that comes, it should expand our testing scope by up to 40% our current capacity, and that's huge. And then in terms of macrobiology, there are a wide range of macrobiological parameters that we can run at our laboratory. And I want to encourage the general public, populace, to visit our institution so they know the level of facility that we have there, because not many people are aware of the laboratory. So we are doing the best we can to increase publicity about the laboratory and the services that we provide there that are essential, so that our people are not sending their product out of the country for testing or purposes that we can provide at the Labour Standards Authority.
Let's talk about some of the biggest food safety challenges we face in Liberia. Okay. Let's talk about some of the biggest food safety challenges we face in Liberia. Do you think is poor hygiene in markets? Do you think it's due to inadequate storage, or let's say lack of or cold chains or whatever, or the informal sector?
Okay, so that's primarily the reason we're here. We wanted to talk about food safety from the farm level and as well as the market level. But every time we talk about food safety, there's a key word that comes in play, and that is hazard. And it's important to at least make our listener understand what hazard is. So every time we talk about hazard, we are talking about anything, because I want to say in the simplest so that my mom in the village listening to radio right now will be able to understand that. So it's anything that makes the food not to be safe. Mm-hmm. And that thing may either cause injury or illness. So these hazards, they are divided into 3 categories, and we call one is biological hazard. So when we say biological hazard, it means that these hazards, they are living things, all right? And in a Liberian term, you call them germs, okay, all right? But they are viruses, they are bacterial, and they are fungi. And so the yeast and mold and all of that. So they cause spoilage to food, and they also cause illnesses. And then we also have chemical hazards. So chemical hazards, these hazards may come from the environment. For example, if you planted a crop in on the soil that has a lot of heavy metals, it's definitely going to absorb those chemicals. So that's from the environment. But then also, human activities with farming processes can also result with chemical contamination, like the use of pesticides, herbicides, and other chemicals to get rid of pests, but then the crops get infected as well. Mm-hmm. And then affected, sorry. Mm-hmm. And then we also have physical hazards. So those are physical things you can see. There could be pieces of metal, there could be stones and other things that could cause food not to be safe. So from the farm level, it is really very important for us to talk about food safety from the farm level, because most of the time we talk about food safety at production level. Okay. But there are certain food, when they get contaminated from the farm level, the contamination goes on until it reaches the plate. So it's important. So number one is, for example, the use of pesticides. I want to talk about that, because the issue of pesticide residue, especially on vegetables, is a very important thing. And that is where from agricultural extension officers. So agricultural extension officers, the Ministry of Agriculture, have several of those technicians, and they have a very key role to play when it comes to food safety. Because if you are the farmer and you are applying, let's say for example, an insecticide on the crops because you want to kill the insect, there is a threshold after you apply the chemical, from the time of applying the chemical to the time you harvest the product. If that time is not observed, it means you harvest a product with chemicals on it. And if they are fresh vegetables, when they reach the market in their freshness, somebody just run water on them while the leaf still contains those chemicals, and then they will eat the chemicals, and then they get affected. Okay. And also, even if they observe the threshold, if the concentration, like, all right, supposed to use, let's say for example, 2 milliliter of the chemical to 1 gallon of water. Then after 3 days you harvest, for example. But then you use 5 milliliters to 1 gallon of water. You still harvest it after 3 days, but it's not enough because the concentration you use was higher than what you were supposed to use. So that results to chemical hazard being on the product.
Let's hear from Isaac. You know, the thing is, a lot of our food in Liberia, you know, comes from street vendors.
That's true.
Yeah. So how does this science in action extend to these street vendors?
Yes. So it's up to consumers to decide where they get their food from, and we should not fall ill because we eat, and we certainly should not die from food.
Okay.
But then, as I already mentioned, when it comes to our part of the world, street vendors play a very vital role. I mean, the informal sector is a very important economic sector in the country, and as such, we cannot do away with street vendors. But we need to, you know, create awareness among consumers who then demand for these, these kind of practices that are safe from food vendors. So, for example, if I'm a consumer and I go to the shop and I don't check expiry dates and or whether the seal is broken or not, there's no incentive on the part of the person selling to not sell an expired product to me, or for that matter, a product that with the seal broken. And the same goes with street vendors. If I will eat anywhere, I don't care because it's cheap, maybe it's nice, why not? The person will continue to sell. So as a project, we want to create awareness among consumers.
Okay.
Consumers should demand safe food. But then street vendors will need help to be able to meet the demands of consumers. And so as a project, what we'll be doing will also then to train and to coach and to support these marketplace actors to be able to, produce safe food for consumers. So the first thing comes from awareness that creates demand. And then with that demand, our support comes to the street vendor who then will be able to produce to meet, the consumers' demand. And we're going to do an assessment, a nationwide assessment very soon with my colleagues from the Liberian Standards Authority and other government institutions. We are going to assess consumers, knowledge of what is considered safe food, what they themselves practice, and then what they know of what the law says when it comes to producing safe food. We'll do same for producers and we'll do same for marketplace actors.
Yeah.
Based on this, then we know from science that this is the situation on the ground. These are the gaps. These are areas where we can support. Then we provide the needed, strategies to address each of these, actors within, the food chain, being the consumers, being the producers, and being the marketplace actors.
I think one of the problems has been raising enough awareness about this issue of food safety. So let's say I'm a citizen and I've observed a food safety issue somewhere. How do I go about, let's say, reporting it or bringing it to light?
So now, thankfully, we have the Food Authority of Liberia.
Okay.
It's a government institution. They are the law when it comes to, consuming safe food. And the law is there, the Food Act. I think 2019 is there. So there is something to guide a consumer. Now, prior to, let's say, March, maybe this question will be even difficult to answer because there was no coordination of, efforts to tackle issues of food safety. The Ministry of Health does its bit. The Ministry of Agriculture, through the plant quarantine, does its bit. The Liberian Standards Authority does its bit, and MPhil, National Public Health Institute of Liberia, does its bit. And there's no coordination, so it's difficult to really know who to even talk to. Thankfully, the Food Authority becomes this player who has to put things into law. But then again, we're also looking at the opportunity for for producers themselves to say, look, I want to stand out. I want to be able to sell. I want to be able to attract consumers. And so I want to be part of any scheme that itself put me outside, even if the law is there. The law should be the basic. Food safety should be the basic. But then if I want to stand out, I want to do things in a way that even if the law is not there, I'll be able to compete internationally. So we are supporting the establishment of what we call a voluntary third-party food assurance scheme of the VTPA, and this producers will sign up to this. Food producers, could be even food vendors, will sign up to this scheme, go through all the process, and these processes, like my brother mentioned, good manufacturing practices, good hygiene practices, the HACCP, the hazard analysis control, critical control point. These are big words, but these are science-based ways of ensuring that the processes that lead to the production of the food makes it safe.
Okay.
If you sign up to this and you have a certificate that shows this is a VTPA certified vendor or producer, consumers are already assured that I need to buy food from this.
Okay.
And that creates, market for businesses also.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's open the phone line so that others can just be a part of the program. Our callers are on our backs. They're already ready to form a part of the program. So 0777 700 995, 0555 995 995 are the numbers to call. And our guest, Isaac Donkor, he is the Chief Technical Advisor at UNIDO. We also have Patrick A. Blamo Jr. He is the head of certification and inspection at the Liberia Standard Authority. Good morning, caller. Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Barnabas Blair. I call from Central Moravia.
Okay.
And I found an institution called the National Health Intake Environmental Protection Program.
Okay.
So thanks to the guest. I have a few questions, but I have also a disappointment because we are talking about food here. Where is the representation of the food authority? And Mr. Ndabo and that of the Judge Ethel Gray, they were duly appointed, and these are activities they need to be involved in because we all try hard to bring on board these food authorities supported by EU and the rest of that. And we are working with food producers, especially the restaurants, co-shop owners, and other factories, as we speak, the bakery unions. So we're giving food safety messaging and trying to train up because we have technical training with both Ministry of Health and Federal Liberia Standards Authority.
Okay.
So I'm greatly disappointed into your fellows in Dublin now and just at the Gray having nothing to say on this kind of important day coming. I've been duly appointed. I don't understand this.
Okay.
You see, the issue of food safety is a whole embarrassment to this country.
Hello.
Yeah.
So I'm told they were on their way, but their car broke down, and so they were not able to make it.
Their car will keep breaking down. Just forget what I think. That car will not be repaired. That car will not start yet. So let me just discuss the issue of this food issue.
You can assume what happened to them. That's what they're saying. Until it is proven wrong, that is what we know.
Okay, so the issue of food in Liberia is very critical. Thanks to the EU for stepping in with their initiating support.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so most people die, unknowingly from these foodborne diseases, as the studio guests are saying. And the issue of getting to the stakeholders of the Chapter 49 of the Act that created the Food Authority speak about stakeholder consultative forum. That is to get to organizations and institutions that will link them directly to the parties involved in this food value chain. Because food value chain starts from both the producers, the transporters, and the handlers that have to do with it, the processors also.
Okay.
Like Patrick was saying.
Right.
So we say thanks to them. We appreciate them. This is a labyrinth thing because food safety is everybody's business, as it was in the message of the last year team. So thanks to the guests and thanks to the OKFM family.
778 777 700 995 0555 995 995 are the numbers to call and be a part. You have to be straight to the point when you call. So I think we'll just address the calls as they come. So you listen to him? You listen to the caller?
Yes. By the way, I'm not holding brief for Food Authority, but this is a week-long set of activities that we are carrying out, and as and when who is available, we appear on different radio stations. So I'm sure the Food Authority will definitely make an appearance on the next radio station. Yes, so not to hold brief for them. For example, yesterday, because of work-related issues, I couldn't make an appearance on behalf of our project. So this will continue. We will continue throughout the week, and then we'll end it on Friday, as Patrick already made mention of. Yeah.
Okay. What's the cost of the project?
The cost of the project, 7 million euros.
Okay. 0777 700 995 0555 995 995 are the numbers to call and be a part of the program. We're talking food safety, and the celebration is on June 7, right? June 7th this year. So if you're there, you want to form a part of the program, those are the numbers to call and be a part of the program. It's on the OK Morning Rush here on OK FM 99.5. What's happening with our callers? 778-594-595 0555-995-995. Let's talk about, I'm not sure, I'm sure you can answer this question. The long-term food, safety goals for Liberia, like building on this foundation of science in action. Yeah. What's the goal?
Yeah, long-term, it's quite straightforward. Healthy nation, a productive nation, because if we are consuming safe food, we are healthy and we are productive, and then express across different sectors. So economy improves. Our trade will improve. That's actually our goal as a project, is to, boost the consumption of safe food and also to boost trade. Mind you,
let's hear from this person. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Let's hear you.
My name is Joseph David, calling from Central Monrovia. So thank you very much for the program, and I think it's a laudable venture.
Okay.
Food security is necessary because the entire Africa, if not West Africa, I think we are so much, if not 40 or 50% dependent on food from Asia, meaning India and China. If plans are not on the way to do it, even if it is in 50 years, I think a solid foundation is needed, not just to start, but to start a good start. If the foundation is solid, then we can build on it. The long-term approaches, mechanism put in place one of these years, even if it's a decade or two, we can be out of the whole issue of food insecurity, because it's too much. Liberia alone is estimated at 200 million plus annually. With this kind of geopolitical differences with Russia, China, the U.S., so it's a good thing. So we must applaud the institution, whoever behind it. Thank you very much. We pray that the energy must be doubled so that whatsoever plan you put together must not be reversed. Thank you.
Thank you so much. 777 700 995. You were your flight?
Yes. So I was saying that globally, 30% of food that is produced goes waste. And it's even worse in Africa, and certainly not also good in Liberia. So when we practice safe food, when we do safe food practice, what we do is we are reducing waste. And 75% of food that we consume is imported in Liberia alone, and that's a lot. Imagine the money that we could have saved if all the losses that we are incurring. Liberia is surrounded by water everywhere from the sea to river, and yet we are importing fish. This is something we shouldn't. But consumers are not even, confident to consume river fish because obviously they think that the water from which these fish are caught is not sanitary enough.
Okay.
And yet these are fish that are delicacies elsewhere. So why should it be the case?
Yeah. Let's hear this person.
Good morning.
I think he's a final caller. Good morning.
This is Salome.
Okay, Salome.
Calling from the Mamba Point. It has gained my attention because of the role that the UN, if I may be correct, is trying to undertake concerning food security in Liberia. We see that as a great opportunity that will change the direction of how food is managed, produced for the safety of the Liberian people.
Okay. All right. I think you heard her.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for calling.
Thank you. And it's all through the funding of the European Union, I must add. Yeah.
Okay, let's take this the last caller, please. Okay. Hello, caller.
Hello, my name is Thomas, and I call from Kamara.
Straight to the point, please.
Yeah, so I actually like the program. It took my interest because I'm a producer of food in Liberia. I have a restaurant, not just a restaurant, but I have a catering service as well.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm into food business, so I would like to know how can we Liberians businesses can be impacted, especially the restaurant side.
Thank you. And you are our final caller. We're not taking any more. So we just go very quickly and
I just wanted to punch something in very quickly.
Yeah.
I just want the listener to be aware that there are standards, there are food-related standards that cut across every sector, from mega production company to Lapabido, like you say, Liberian Lapabido.
Yeah.
So we have standards for cook shop, we have standards for mobile food vendors, like those people who sell the food in the bus, and then they go to a particular area, open up. So we have standards, available standards for all of these various actors along the food value chain, and we. This is a good platform. We thought it was important to also make this public. So the Food Authority has a big responsibility to ensure that the enforcement of the food law is at its fullest, so that these standards that we have can be utilized, so that these people can access this standards and be able to apply the standards in their production processes. Like my colleague mentioned, that I choose to eat at Lapabido and you chose to eat at Royal Grand Restaurant does not in any way excuse that the both of us should not have access to safe food. So irrespective of what we eat and where we choose to eat is based on our economy and our economic strength, and that should in no way put us at the risks of unsafe food. So all of those actors along the chain, from restaurant down to Lapabido, there are standards available, and those standards are intended to ensure that the food that is produced is safe.
Okay. So let's hear from you, sir.
Yes,
before we go.
Just to answer the last caller, for a business, very soon the project will be putting out a call for businesses interested in signing up for the voluntary third-party certification scheme. So it will be out there, and he can apply with his business to sign up, and then we can then provide this kind of support to them. But it will definitely be made public soon, not now.
I'm concerned about the measures you're going to be putting in place. So how are you going to measure the impact of the project?
Yes, so my colleague whom I came with would have been the best person. He's the M&E officer, definitely. But I will stand in for him. We have a very comprehensive metrics that we use to measure. We are working on 3 levels. So the first level is at the regulatory framework strengthening. So we're supporting all the regulators responsible for food safety. We're supporting them to upgrade, their secondary legislations, to operationalize the law, as it were. Then at the second level, we are supporting institutions who are providing conformity assessment and all the services like Patrick, the Liberian Standards Authority, all those providing these services, we are providing this kind of support. Let's not forget, Liberia has a huge population who are youth, and sometimes it's a bit difficult when you have a program. It's on food safety, but it's delaying from a lot of the people, and so we are also working with the university to train more food safety experts, the TVET, to train people in the hospitality business, so that those coming out of these schools will already have the competencies to work in a restaurant, practicing the things that are supposed to be done right away. You can't learn how to produce safe food on the job. You might have killed a lot of people before you become competent enough. Okay. So we need to start, we're supporting the University of Liberia with some infrastructure and also, upgrading of their curriculum to include food safety, modules in it. And then at the very third level, we are working with SMEs and consumers. Okay. So consumers demand, SMEs comply, and then the law is enforced. And with that, we believe that the country then has a holistic food safety, environment to work with.
Thank you so much. You want to say a final word
yes,
in just a sentence? Maybe a sentence.
Yeah, just a pattern statement. So as we talk about the issue of narrowing the knowledge gap when it comes to food safety, we have a training program, an external training program, and we have a huge training package in there, and they talk about good manufacturing practices, good agricultural practices, food safety management system, quality management system, and a long range of other training services that the industry will be interested in narrowing the knowledge gap.
You came late, so it's your fault. Thank you so much. I have to go. The news team is on my back. So it has been a good show. My name is Fatu Kamara. I will be here tomorrow again with another presentation. Until I talk to you, when I talk to you, I'm out.